Welcome back to the channel. So I completed more of my spreadsheet analysis on TSLY. I've got like at least 3 more scenarios that we'll go into in terms of whether or not you would be better off dollar cost averaging or just taking the cash in TSLY. These scenarios go from January 2023 to April 2023 all the way to July. So let's dive right into it and see what our findings are here. They may surprise you. Okay, so here we go. So our favorite scenario, the one that Jay told us that we would be up in like 34% as of November, I finally finished that one. Since January 2023, when TSLY was trading at $13.56 per share, a $10,000 investment will have gone a lot further because of the price being lower compared to the November 2022 scenario. This 2004 over here, it was $13.56 January 2023. So that would have gotten us 737 shares of TSLY with $10,000 invested. So our first dividend would have been $736.43 because it's 99 cents times the number of shares. Pretty easy math, right? And then doing the dollar cost averaging here. So we're going to go over column E, which is just the summation of all the dividends paid if you didn't dollar cost average versus actually dollar cost averaging into the fund. So we would have 788 shares, and you would have $11,400 at the end of January. And then February, we would have had a $711.84 dividend payout, which would have then compounded to 829 shares, or 14,485. Skip into March with the same math. See how the dividend is getting higher because of the compounding effect, whereas the dividend over here would have just been based on the same number of 737 shares in column F, F19 up here. So then in March 2023, we dropped a little bit. So we were down to $13,019. In April, we were at, the dividend would have been a $611.06 payout with no compounding and no dollar cost averaging. Without it, it would have been $729. And then, of course, the mouse is going to freeze up on me here. And then at 928 would have been the share count. We did recover a little bit after that dip because of earnings. So we would have been at 14,021 approximately. In May, we dropped again. So we would have been at 12,879. Remember, off of an initial $10,000 investment. By June and by July, especially, things started to look really good because TSLY ran back up. So we would have been at $16,486.27 with the column E dividend over here at $5.92. And 769 with dollar cost averaging. We would be up to 1,000 shares in this scenario. July, we would have been all the way at 18,563.24. So that would have been an 86% return overall as far as total return. So that would be $786 in July. And you see the dollar total there. Now, August, we started to fall back down. So we were at 16,726. with a $612 dividend, or $885 over here in this one. September, we started to come back a little bit. So as the fund drops and we're dollar cost averaging in lower, we have a little bit of an offsetting effect. So we were at 17,319 over here. For October, we had a $677 payout with the extra shares because of the dollar cost averaging, only $425 without it. So by October, we were at 13,383, a big drop from the month prior. November, again, same math, 15,015 if you round up a little bit. By December, here's how we ended the year, 2023. And I've got to get this analysis out of the way because of the split coming up. This will be a little bit moot, or the math will totally, the numbers will be different because of the split. So we will have 16,206.60. So that is a 62% total rate of return in TSLY for the year 2023 with the dividends reinvested. I'm surprised no one has actually done this math, but if you think about it, that's kind of stunning, you know, given all the bad press in TSLY. What I'm getting here at the end of December 2023 is that we would have ended the year with a 62% total rate of return for the year 2023 in TSLY, based on the stock price or the fund price at the beginning of the year versus the end of the year with dividends reinvested. That is phenomenal news that we're breaking here that I haven't really seen anyone else cover. So got to do something to make up for this, lack of personality, right? Or, I could just take all the dividends and, get lessons, right? But anyway, that is really phenomenal. And still, into January and February, when the fund got really beat up, we would still be ahead like 36% with dollar cost averaging. Now, where would we be without dollar cost averaging? Without dollar cost averaging right now, our total return would be 42%. See this cell here, cell E63? You're going to take 10,000, or you're going to take this minus the 10,000 because that was our original investment. So that's 4,192 divided by the $10,000. Oops. Divided by the $10,000. That is a 42% rate of return, or 41.92% to be exact. So that is phenomenal given the decline in TSLY. So maybe we should just keep dollar cost averaging into these. So that is the big takeaway here. So in 14 months, we would be up 42% without just taking the dividends. Because here's the thing. So this 14,191, this is a summation of the original number of shares we bought times the current price. So we're down from 10,000 to 6,755. So that's a decline of about 33%. But we got all these dividends over this amount of time. You see this here, all the way from cell E20 to E59. So that's $7,438 in dividends. So the dividend return, it returned more in dividends than the fund is actually worth. So if you add those up, you come out to $14,191.52, which is a 41.92% rate of return. So survey says jackpot, right? At least for this one. And again, this is mind-blowing even to me. It makes me almost want to go and check my own math again, because of the fact that we would have ended the year positively by 62% total return in these by reinvesting the dividends. So that's a big find here. I'm actually going to enlarge this one a little bit here, because that is a big deal. That is a 62% rate of return. I'm going to do this in this cell so that you all can see it. Divided by 10,000. That is going to be a 62% rate of return, which is incredible. So who would have thought? We all thought this was garbage, right? I mean, I'm still upset that, I've lost in mine, but of course I haven't been diligently reinvesting all the dividends, and I got in April of last year. So I would actually be scenario C over here from April. So how would we'll look at that one real quick. How would we have fared if we had invested all the way from April to the end of the year? We would have ended the year slightly in the black. This is going to make me knock myself for not reinvesting all the dividends now, because in this scenario, we would actually be in the positive here, like up 39%. And then even with all the drops, with the dividends reinvested, we would still be up 17%, even with the most recent price of $9.16. So I guess really the moral of the story is, focus on total return, and I guess reinvest the dividends. Like I said, I'm kind of shocked by my own findings here. But anybody want to double check this for me and, confirm for me? Because it seems like this is really great. All right, let's do some comments now, because that's pretty much all I had for you all on this one. Richard King is on. Yeah, greetings. Chuck Stink says hello, hello. We got a lot of howdies. Oh, this guy, Dan Tunney, keeps pointing out the taxes. I know the taxes. I get it. We factor that out later. Hog Farmer's on. Welcome. Glad to have you back. Good to see you back. Clear evidence it's a great long play. Yeah, I mean it definitely. If you reinvest the dividend, I'm surprised that I'm finding who is this Meat Cranium. I'm surprised that that it's this profound as far as a 62%. The way if we just invested in 2023. That it's a 62% rate of return. I mean, that's phenomenal. Oh, Hoffman's asleep. Well, somebody wake him up. Somebody pour like a bucket of water over him. I'm sure he has more detective work for us that he needs to be working on for us, right? And let's see what you have to say again here. So you reminded us again of the taxes. What's the return if you don't reinvest but have to pay 10 to 37% federal tax on those payouts? Well, I tell you what, just for you, we'll do this just for you. I typically don't cover taxes on here, but just for this person, because he keeps mentioning taxes, it would be basically your profit, right? So if it's tax at ordinary income, we'll take, I know you strike me as someone that likes the worst case scenario, so we'll focus on that one first. Oh, it's so bad we get an error. How about that? Let's see here. So this times 0.37, that's $1,551. So profound, right? Isn't it weird that someone with no personality like me has such a sense of humor? Isn't that just so strange? I guess they broke the mold when they made the coach, whoever did. I was raised by wolves, actually. That's a little bit of a joke. Let's see here. Well, see, I did the taxes right, because they come from profits. Because this total return here, no, excuse me. If we took the dividends in cash, all of you all are going to get me talking about taxes here. Let's see. So we would have this many dividends here times 0.37%, because I know you all like these worst case scenarios. So we'll take 0.37%. That's your taxes you would owe there. This isn't tax advice, by the way, just like none of this is financial advice. These are just the ramblings of a rambling coach, a rambling financial coach, so to speak. I try to be a jokester, I really do. It's hard to come up with jokes, with no personality. It's tough, but I try. Sometimes it's one of those things that it's like does not compute. Like when you get an error in Excel, like we just did a second ago. Okay, what am I trying to do again? See, I have ADD. I forget. Oh, we're over here. It's going to be this one. So times 0.115. So some of you are going to fall into this one because not all of you are ballers like Mr. One Dantown here is that wants us to focus on the worst case scenario, the 37% bracket. Okay, so here's where we would be after the taxes on this dividend. And we're just going to keep it at this minus this. Look, you would still have that. So here, I'll even do this for you. I'll do your after-tax return. Okay, so this would be this divided by this is still 69. How about that? A 69% rate of return. Some of you find that amusing. This one is a 93% rate of return. So at a 37% bracket or a 15% bracket, this is where you would be, and this is where you would be after tax. Now the others, you're reinvesting. So actually, this is going to be based on the cash dividends that you've got, assuming that you haven't sold anything at a loss, which it seems like, and I actually may show this to Jay the next time he's on. And let me, I'll see what he thinks. He's probably going to agree that, that's exactly how these should be played, right? Okay, let's see here. Yeah, taxes come from profits. So the profits in this case are the dividend payouts, right? So that's why I did it on that $7,436. Mr. Cranium here says I reinvest everything. Eventually your cost basis will be profitable. That's what we're finding. Just in case you all missed it, the news flash, I just found it was a 62% total rate of return. Hold on just a second. Oh, it just stopped. It was a 62% total rate of return at the end of the year if you invested from the beginning of 2023 to the end of 2023. MSTR saved you. Well, that's good for you. Yeah, coach is a jokester. Yeah, I try. Instead of paying taxes, just call 1-800-TAX-RELIEF, or just don't do them. Just just cheat on your taxes, then run for office, and then change the laws or whatever, or get all the inside stock tips, right? Anyway, all right, you all. Thank you all for tuning in. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Join the Discord. Subscribe. Join us for certainly there. We'd like to have you. Having a lot of fun. We're gonna really get ramping things up here. We're gonna start a live show very soon. What's this? Your portfolio: Coney, AMDY, NFLY, TSLY. Oh, good. That's everything. That's something. Anyway, all right, you all. We'll see you all again soon. Thanks so much. Take care.